Wench is a historical novel written by Dolen Perkins-Valdez, an American author. Set in the years preceding the Civil War, the book follows the intertwining stories of 4 enslaved women who serve as mistresses to their masters. Every summer, they accompany their owners to the Tawana House Resort in Ohio, a free state where interracial relationships are allowed to exist openly. Lizzie, Reenie, Sweet, and the new arrival Mawu form a bond as they confront the constraints of their lives and the possibility of escape. The 4 women navigate a complex world where their masters treat them as both companions and slaves. While they find a degree of comfort and privilege in their roles as mistresses, with lighter workloads, adequate food, and some educational opportunities, the constant threat of punishment and the harsh realities of their enslavement loom over them. Mawu's arrival and her defiant spirit ignite discussions of freedom among the women, forcing them to confront their desires for liberation. The contrasting personalities of the women shape their responses to the prospect of escape. Mawu's fiery determination and Tip's brutal treatment of her amplify the stark differences between their situations and those of Lizzie, Reenie, and Sweet. Despite the allure of their status as mistresses, the women grapple with the understanding that attempting to run away would subject them to the wrath of their masters and the severe consequences faced by fleeing slaves. Wench delves into the complexities of power dynamics, the limitations of personal agency within the institution of slavery, and the conflicting emotions experienced by the enslaved women. Dolen Perkins-Valdez paints a vivid picture of their lives, exploring the sacrifices they make and the risks they face in their pursuit of freedom. The novel confronts the brutal realities of slavery and invites readers to examine the profound challenges faced by those trapped within its system of oppression. In some instances, these enslaved women are knowingly sold to even harsher masters, and the consequences for attempting escape can be deadly. This grim reality is exemplified by the story of Mawu, who, desperate to break free from Tip's cruelty, ventures into the woods behind Tawana House one night during her first summer at the resort. There, she seeks refuge at another resort catering to free blacks, where she receives guidance on escape and a map of safe houses leading to New York. Upon her return to Tawana House, Mawu implores Lizzie, Reenie, and Sweet to join her on the journey to freedom, offering the strength of their companionship. However, concerned about the risks involved, the other women decline the offer. Wary that Mawu's escape plan may lead to her capture and potential death at Tip's hands, Lizzie shares the secret with her master, Drayle, whom she genuinely loves and trusts. Regrettably, Drayle betrays her confidence by informing Tip of Mawu's intentions. Enraged, Tip publicly brutalizes Mawu in the resort's courtyard, subjecting her to a vicious beating and sexual assault. As a result, the other women distance themselves from Lizzie, while Mawu's determination to escape only grows stronger. During Mawu's second summer at Tawana House, she remains enslaved by Tip, and the women maintain a cold attitude towards Lizzie, still harboring distrust. Feeling rejected by her friends, Lizzie discreetly spends time with Glory, a white abolitionist, who provides her with abolitionist literature. Lizzie shares these materials with her companions back at the resort, gradually regaining their acceptance. However, while the wounds begin to heal, lingering doubts and wariness persist. Tragedy strikes when Sweet learns that a devastating cholera outbreak has ravaged her plantation back home. Still grieving from the loss of an unborn child the previous year, Sweet receives the devastating news that all of her surviving children have succumbed to the disease. Overwhelmed by heartbreak, Sweet descends into madness, and her suffering eventually claims her life. The tragic events surrounding Sweet's demise ignite a fierce determination within Mawu and Reenie to forge an escape plan. Even Lizzie wrestles with the idea of fleeing, but her unwavering love for Drayle keeps her rooted in her current circumstances. One fateful night, Mawu and Tip's cabin becomes engulfed in flames. The women manage to rescue Mawu, although she suffers severe burns, while Tip escapes relatively unscathed. Lizzie eventually realizes that Mawu set the fire intentionally, hoping to end Tip's life. Back at their cabin, Reenie tends to Mawu's wounds, and when morning arrives, the 2 women have vanished from Tawana House. The following summer, Lizzie returns to the resort and reunites with Glory, who leads her to a hidden refuge in the woods. There, Lizzie is joyously reunited with Mawu, who patiently waited for her. Meanwhile, Reenie has successfully escaped to New York and now enjoys her freedom. However, Mawu cannot bear to leave Lizzie behind in captivity. Despite the profound love they share, Lizzie ultimately chooses to remain with Drayle, unable to forsake him. Mawu embarks on a desperate flight, but her pursuit of freedom is short-lived. Just 2 days into her escape, slave catchers apprehend her and deliver her back into the clutches of Tip. The repercussions she faces are uncertain but range from severe beatings to unimaginable torture or even death. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.